What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking our top 20 overall player rankings for the 2023 fantasy football season. So make sure to tune in. If you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, and give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear in the comment section. Do you agree, disagree? Who's too high? Who's too low? Along with any other questions you guys might have. We will do our best to answer them all. But with that being said, let's get into it. Before getting into our breakdown, I want to highlight the sponsor of today's video, OddsJam. OddsJam continues to be the place that I use for all of my sports betting research, from the NFL, NBA, MLB, to daily fantasy and everything in between. But don't just take my word for it. Let me show you firsthand all the amazing tools OddsJam has to offer. Starting with their positive EV tool, which identifies situations where a single sportsbook has mispriced their line compared to the rest of the market. They're basically willing to pay a lot more so that you bet with them compared to the other sportsbook. At the end of the day, you're getting the best odds, essentially a mathematical edge and guaranteed money in the long run. But also available is OddsJam's arbitrage tool, which shows situations where the market is so mispriced that you can bet on both sides and guarantee a risk-free return. OddsJam's calculators show you exactly how much you have to bet on the over and under and what the respective guaranteed risk-free return would be. There's also OddsJam's Sportsbook tool, which consolidates all available market info, over 200 sportsbooks, and provides updates in real time and allows you to see line movement. But my personal favorite is their Fantasy Optimizer tool, which is great for those using PrizePicks, Underdogs, or other daily fantasy sites, as you get to see discrepancies between all of these sportsbooks. Imagine, PrizePicks has a Patrick Mahomes line at 200.5 passing yards, and all other books like FanDuel and Underdog have this line at 230 passing yards. Well, getting the over 200.5 on PrizePicks would be an absolute steal. Guess what? OddsJam does that for you. And the good news is, if you sign up today and use our code PIGSKIN, check the link and promo code in the description of this video, you will get 25% off your first month. OddsJam also has a 7-day free trial, so you get to try before you buy. So don't waste any more time and sign up for OddsJam using our code PIGSKIN today. Now, as you can see, we have got these rankings pulled up here via fantasypros. I said top 20 overall player rankings. Quick note, it will be on a PPR basis, but that's really all you need to know. When putting together this list, I took into account injuries, I took into account positional importance, things like that. So without further ado, we started off at the number 1 spot, and I have Christian McCaffrey there. That's right, we've got a running back here, boys and girls. I still believe the running back position is the most important position. If you've been following along on our mock drafts, that should be no surprise to you. Simply put, the running back position, there's a huge drop-off. It is much harder to hit on a starting running back than it is on a starting wide receiver. There's so many running back by committees. There's only a couple of elite guys. And when talking elite guys, that is Christian McCaffrey, that is Austin Eckler, who I have at the number 2 spot. If you want to have Austin Eckler at the number 1 spot, I have zero issues with that either. I think both McCaffrey and Eckler are on high-powered offenses where they're one of the focal points, where they're going to catch a bunch of balls, and they have a huge floor along with a huge ceiling. I really like both of them. Again, I'm of the mindset that the running back position is still more important than that of the wide receiver position. It's much easier to find a wide receiver 1 in the 4th round or 5th round than it is a running back 1 at that point in time. So with that being said, let's move on to our number 3 spot. This is where you're going to see the wide receiver position featured, just because I do think there is a tier break that's kind of significant at the running back position. So here, showing some love to the wide receivers. At number 3, I have Justin Jefferson, everyone's presumed number 1 wide receiver for the season. And look, it's hard to disagree with that, especially what he's done the last couple of years. But I will say, the guy that I have at number 4, Cooper Kupp of the LA Rams, he's a little bit banged up, but he's going to be back for week 1. That's what all reports are saying. And the only reason I have Justin Jefferson ahead of Cooper Kupp is because he is healthier and his quarterback is healthier. But other than that, I think Cooper Kupp is going to be right there alongside Justin Jefferson all season long. In fact, he was last season before his injury and before Matthew Stafford's injury. In fact, he was outpacing Justin Jefferson, but people are conveniently forgetting about that. But to me, when it comes to full PPR scoring, these are the top two guys at the wide receiver position. At number 5, we have got Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals. To me, there's a tier break after Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. Chase is that next guy, high upside, high offense, good quarterback in Joe Burrow that should be back in week 1. So you got to love the situation there. I think he's comparable to a Tyreek Hill, who I have a little bit lower, with another wide receiver, kind of a 1B to the 1A. In Cincinnati, it's T. Higgins. In Miami, it's Jalen Waddle. I just like the quarterback situation more with Joe Burrow and the Bengals than I do with Tua and the Dolphins, so I have Chase a little bit higher here. Then at 6, we've got another running back, and this might be a bit of a surprise, Nick Chubb in full PPR scoring, but man, the more I look at it, the higher and higher I get on Nick Chubb. This is probably kind of the biggest change in my rankings when it comes to the running backs. He's moved up steadily, and I think he's going to have a bonkers season. I really do, without Kareem Hunt there. Good offensive line, Deshaun Watson, a full off season. I think he's going to stabilize himself and going to bring balance to that offense. I think Nick Chubb is going to arguably set career highs as a pass catcher, even though that's never been his forte. The opportunities will be there. He's going to be one of the league leaders in rushing yards, rushing attempts, rushing touchdowns. I really like the upside for Nick Chubb this year. At number 7, we've got Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins. Similar to what I said about Jamar Chase, we've got Tyreek Hill here. I only have him a little bit lower because he is with Tua. Tua has some more injury concerns. And I also do think that Jalen Waddle is a little bit better of a complementary wide receiver, so he's going to take away some opportunities from Tyreek Hill. Obviously, you could argue there is no higher upside guy on a week-to-week basis than Tyreek Hill. I mean, the guy can go like 3-4 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has that ability, but there are some weeks where you'd like a little bit of a higher floor, but those are far and few between, so he's still a top 10 guy. Number 8, we've got Travis Kelce. Look, I don't love taking a tight end early, but Kelce is a guy, especially if you want the positional advantage at tight end. He is in a tier by himself. The number 1 weapon for Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the NFL, elite offense, and he is going to get his. You could argue he's going to go for a stat line that a Tyreek Hill or a Jamar Chase can go, and getting that at the tight end position, very, very valuable. Then we get to the 9 spot here. We've got a little bit of a running back run with Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, and Tony Pollard coming in at 9, 10, 11, respectively. Bijan of the Atlanta Falcons, rookie, but man, you don't become a top 10 pick in the NFL draft by accident. You don't draw comparisons to Adrian Peterson by accident. You're not the number 1 ranked running back by accident coming out of your class. Bijan, I think, is going to be very, very good as advertised. The Falcons have got a good offensive line as well. He's going to catch a lot of balls, going to make him valuable in those PPR formats. I think he's going to be the focal point of this offense, and I think he's going to be one of these rookie running backs that's actually kind of warrants his selection. Then at number 10, we've got Saquon Barkley. Honestly, these 3 guys in Bijan, Barkley, and Pollard, I'm okay if you kind of mix them up in terms of how you want to rank them. Barkley here at number 10, I think he's going to, be a little bit more balanced than a Tony Pollard, for example. I think his rushing yard and rushing touchdown upside is higher. That's why I've got him here. But, Daniel Jones will vulture away some opportunities. But at the end of the day, again, a focal point of that offense. At number 11, Tony Pollard, no more Ezekiel Elliott. The Cowboys didn't add a proven vet. I think Pollard is going to, do what we saw last year, but on an even bigger scale since we don't have to worry about Zeke. I like Pollard this year. He's going to, again, catch a lot of balls. I think he's going to be very efficient considering the offensive weapons the Dallas Cowboys have. And if that offensive line can just stay healthy, Tony Pollard will be in business. Now we get back to the wide receivers here. I've got Stephon Diggs next of the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen, one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. There's been a lot made about whether Diggs is happy in Buffalo or not. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be there this year, and we can just drown out the noise. But he's the number 1 target for Josh Allen. He's been the last couple of years, and that's proven very, very valuable. I think Stephon Diggs is going to pretty much do what he's been doing these last couple of years. At number 13, I've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. No major injury here, and all he's done these last 2 years since he's entered the league is absolutely produced, even with Jared Goff. He's the number one target for the Detroit Lions. Jameson Williams suspended for the first 6 games. Amon-Ra, big plays, small plays, whatever you need. Red zone threat, he can do it all. And he's going to see a lot of volume, especially during the first 6 weeks of the season. Very excited for Amon-Ra to pick up where he left off last year. Number 14, we've got Davante Adams of the Raiders. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be playing at the start of the season, and I think Davante Adams is going for a discount right now. He's still one of the most talented wide receivers in the NFL. I think he's going to see a lot of opportunities, like has been the case all season, all career long for him. Now, yes, Jimmy Garoppolo is not Aaron Rodgers, so we have Davante Adams naturally lower, but still, to me, he is a top 15 guy. Number 15, I've got CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys. I really like CeeDee Lamb. I think he's a very talented wide receiver. Had a big season last year, and I think, as long as Dak Prescott continues to at least do what he did in 2022, CeeDee Lamb will have a similar type of season. Now, yes, the Cowboys added somebody like a Brennan Cooks. Gallup is still there, but to me, CeeDee Lamb is still the alpha on that team. At number 16, we've got Garrett Wilson. Honestly, if you want to rank Garrett Wilson ahead of CeeDee Lamb, I have zero issues with that. He has a major upgraded quarterback with Aaron Rodgers. And I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a comeback season in terms of production compared to last year. The Jets are in a much better situation talent-wise, and Garrett Wilson is that dude. He is the number one wide receiver on this team, and he was producing last year with the likes of Zach Wilson. So I really do think we're going to see a major jump here, and we're going to see a breakout season from Garrett Wilson. At number 17, we have got Josh Jacobs of the Raiders. Signs his deal, so he's going to play this year. And you might say, why do you have him this low, especially when you're high in the running back position? It's simple. I think Josh Jacobs will regress this season. I just don't think what we saw from him last year we've seen on a long-term basis consistently, and I think it wouldn't be a shock to see touchdown regression, to see regression in terms of pass-catching opportunities and just rushing yards in general. That's why I have him lower, but I still do think he is a top 20 guy. At number 18, we've got Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. Look, to me, I think Derrick Henry is kind of on his last leg here. I don't love the situation with the Tennessee Titans. I think they're kind of in a rebuilding situation. I think Ryan Tannehill also not a big believer in him. He's kind of been going downhill. And if the Titans, if they go down big, Derrick Henry, I think, is going to be phased out of the game plan. He's never been a big pass catcher. Injuries has kind of been a thing as of late. He's getting up there in age. So to me, Derrick Henry, much more a standard-suited running back. At number 19, we've got Chris Olave, one of our breakouts this season. I love Chris Olave. I think he is a Keenan Allen light type of guy. With Derek Carr joining the New Orleans Saints, I think that Olave and the entire offense is going to be upgraded. I think he's going to be a PPR machine, and I love getting him at his current value. And then finally, we have got A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, keep in mind, this is PPR scoring. I think A.J. Brown is a much more standard-suited wide receiver. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be spreading out the football. A lot of weapons there in Philly with Devonta Smith, with Goddard. And let's not forget that Jalen Hurts is a rushing quarterback as well. So I think A.J. Brown, sure, high upside, but I think there's going to be, I think he's a more volatile Tyreek Hill. And for that reason, I cannot have him as a top 10 or a top 15 guy. But at the end of the day, he does sneak into our top 20. But with that, we wrap up our breakdown of our top 20 overall player rankings for the 2023 fantasy football season. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Agree, disagree. If you want to see a top 50 list, we can do that as well. Just let me hear it in the comments. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.